Okie dokie. Welcome to the producer show today. Week off of Kirk Minahan's show. We had a show Sunday night with Kirk, and then Kirk is traveling the country looking at colleges all over the place. So we did not get any Kirk Minahan show. So today is Friday, the 23rd of February. Me and Coleman thought we would do a quick little show just to go over some things that are happening in our world. Some people might have had questions about. Coleman, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm still here. Contrary to popular belief, people earlier in the week thinking I quit, like Menors or whatever on Tiny CEO. Still here, still grinding. I think a lot of that came from my Twitter being suspended earlier in the week. So I guess real quick I can kind of explain that.
Yeah,
So,
sure. If you want to jump into that real quick.
Yeah.
So obviously, we get done with the show Sunday night. Kirk actually records with the BO Boys on Sunday night.
Check that out
If you haven't checked that out, it's great content.
Yeah.
Kirk's just talking movies, talking superhero movies, Madam Web, all this other box office, Marley, the Bob Marley movie. It was really great. I actually I don't necessarily enjoy movie podcasts.
Right.
But the BO Boys they're fun. They're not like pretentious. They're not like they're not pretentious isn't the right word, but they know what they're talking about, but they're having fun with it.
Yeah, definitely. I love their little sign-off thing they do at the end too. It's very funny.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm like waiting for the day that like Kirk joins in on it. Like I want him to. I think it'd be hilarious.
Yeah, it shocked me when they did that.
Yeah.
They did that. Kirk just kind of chuckled to himself. So no, that was that was great. Go definitely check that out. So Monday comes along, and Kirk records an episode of None But the Brave, at Bruce Springsteen podcast, and they're talking about some tour Bruce had in 2012.
I think it was 2014. I think it was the High Hopes tour.
Okay. Going through some tour and all the dates, and Kirk's just a encyclopedia of Bruce knowledge on that. But earlier in the day, I saw on the Twitter account that like it was like your report has gone through, has been like approved by Twitter, and I was like, oh, did like Coleman or Kirk report an account that maybe was tweeting personal things? And I click on it, and it was your account.
Yep. Yeah, so I think it was that Monday around midday, about 2:30. I went to go sign into my Twitter, and it's just gone. It's just off my phone. I'm like, all I see are the Kirk Minahan Show account, and then like an old burner I had that literally has nothing on it. Like, if you can find it, have fun. But those were the only two accounts. So I was like, what the hell is going on? I try to log in on my phone right then and there, and it says that the email is changed. It's some like LA ****, however many, at yahoo.com. And I'm like, oh shit, like I have been hacked. Like I don't know what to do here. So some of my first thoughts is like, is this like a fan of the show maybe hacking me? Like I know we had like the Juke Me account and everything, which to his credit, like stirred up some shit, but was funny. Like I thought that a lot of that stuff actually was like kind of good and probably better than my own Twitter.
The tweets of you like quitting are great.
Yeah, no,
and then the tweets of you like not quitting are even better.
Yeah, it's crazy. It literally started with like Kirk directly being like, "Oh my god, like is this Coleman?" and him texting me or whatever the first time he ever tweeted anything. So yeah, I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I try and sign back in. It's not letting me. Like the password has changed, the email has changed, everything. So then I'm like, okay, well, I don't want this person, one, having access to my actual legitimate account, because if they tweet anything, people are just going to believe that that's me. And I have no real way outside of really the show account to disavow that or anything like that. And then also, like, they have access to my DMs and everything. So, like, that's, like, personal information. I'm like, screw that.
Yeah.
So I just go and bomb it myself. I'm like, you know what? We're going to light this sucker up and let it die. If only this person had hacked me, like,
a month ago,
2-3 weeks ago. That would have actually been doing me a service. But sure, no, let's do it right after all hell breaks loose with my Twitter. So nuke the thing, just kept reporting endlessly. And nothing was coming of it. Like, I was just getting sent like the Twitter feedback emails that were like, we're sorry. There's nothing we can do really. We can't log you back in, but hang around on X and make a new account. Like, we'd sure love you to stay. I'm like, well, that's great and all, but like this account is just open out there. So I was just looking through the show account, kind of monitoring throughout the day, making sure no one was tweeting anything from it. Thankfully, no one did. And then by that next day, I believe, I had bombed it enough with my account. I asked a couple friends to just nuke my account, and it just is suspended. Still is. So I've been in the process of making a new Twitter, and I've just wanted to make sure that it was verified. Like, it sucks, but paying for like the Twitter Blue thing now and everything, just so I can have like a verified Twitter going. So that's why it's been a little quiet on my end, I guess, from like a personal perspective, just because I've been dealing with that, and it's been super annoying, and ex-customer support can suck it because it is brutal having to go through them for anything.
Yeah, you mentioned this earlier, but I did see on Menor's on his show, he's just it's kind of pathetic now when you watch these shows. He goes on, he's talking about how like, oh, Justin needs a mentor, I'm willing to mentor him. It's just sad. It's just him waving his arms, just trying to get the network wasn't a big topic of discussion for one show on Saturday, and Menors freaks out. He goes on that show with John from Scranton, Meaning of the Minds. He starts talking about how, what did he say? It was like 40% he wanted?
Yeah, I mean, it's just...
He thinks that like 40% of all KMS content should come from the Minifans and the network. It's just crazy. I mean, there's one person who decides what percentage
exactly
is talked about on the Kirk Minahan show, and believe it or not, it's the namesake of the fucking show.
Yeah, the namesake of the fucking network too. At that, like,
yeah, but it's just like, and then he goes on Wednesday night, and he's like, yeah, they talk for like a good like 15 minutes just about like how you're fired or how you quit. And I'm like, this is not based on reality. This is literally just trying to get like talked about. So we've come to the point where it's just like he's just like waving his arms. He's willing to say anything. It's just going to get more and more pathetic as we keep on going. But we'll see where that goes with that. But I just have a feeling the majority of people, when they see like Menors do this and just say stupid things for the sole purpose of wanting Kirk to call him out for saying stupid things, like not stupid things he believes in, just stupid things that he knows will get brought up on the show. It's just like I feel like the majority of the fans are just like, why is he doing this? Like,
I don't know. I mean, he tried calling me multiple times. I was in the middle of some of the stuff with like the Unnamed show, just getting topics in order and everything, which is a whole other thing. But yeah, he tried calling me then. I was like, I'm not taking this call now. I didn't even know he was live at the time. And then he texted me after the fact, like, I have strong sources saying that you quit, like, care to comment or whatever. I'm like, not in the slightest. Like, you would know if I quit. Like, I'm not some pussy that's just gonna, hide away or whatever.
And also, yeah, I'm sure if Coleman quit, Kirk would be silent on it on Twitter too.
Definitely.
I'm sure if either of us texted Kirk and said, "Hey, best of luck, but we're quitting," Kirk would be like, "Well, I'm not going to talk about it until the next the next show."
And there was another thing too with him where he's like, oh, like now Justin and Coleman are like scared to bring up the network or whatever. It's like, no, like we talked about it on Sunday with whatever was relevant from Mike and the Minifans, I believe it was, and like that was it. There wasn't really anything else that I thought was relevant for.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not scared about bringing up.
Yeah, no, like, well, if
worst
it's,
case scenario, Kirk just calls me a retard and
exactly.
says I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, like if it's something good or quality for the show, we'll bring it up. But when it's not every little thing, like it, like you said, it's just not all about the network on the show. But we'll sprinkle it in where we might see fit, where we might think Kirk would react to something. That's literally it.
So another big thing to come out on Monday was actually during the taping of None But the Brave, which, real quick, did you know? So I tried to look up what like Bruce fans call themselves, like Minifans or Minifans.
Oh, okay,
Swifts.
yeah. I can try this.
No. I looked it up. Would you like to guess on what I found? Which I think Kirk would throw up if he ever referred to himself as this.
Is it like Springsteenies?
No, it's Tramps.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that's
I've heard
legitimate.
that before,
That sounds like something like Bruce fans who like aren't really Bruce fans call themselves. Like I would doubt if Kirk ever referred to himself because in the song, "Baby Tramps Like Us,"
oh yeah,
baby we were born to run. Like I could never see Kirk being like, yeah, no, me all the Tramps were going crazy. The Tramps are a great fan base. But anyway, the Anna Horford, she responded to a show tweet. Talking about Kirk, calling her out for talking about how like no one should be a billionaire, and that kind of took off.
Yeah, no, that was a whole big thing. We talked about it, I believe, behind the scenes a little bit with Kirk Monday after we finished recording and everything. So, yeah, just crazy. I mean, I've been trying to reach out to them and see if they'd be willing.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
like honestly, like I know like for whatever reason she won't do it, but like I think it would be great. Like to come on, like she's obviously very political on Twitter. She has her core beliefs. She like stands for what she believes in. Like come on and debate with Kirk. Like
Right.
I don't know what she does for work exactly, but
Yeah, I mean, that was one thing that I found kind of clear was like you were able to tell exactly what everyone else in that family does for work except for her. Like everyone had links to all their professional pages and everything, and her, I just have no idea. But she does seemingly have some type of publicist or PR person or whatever. So.
yeah. So it was just interesting just seeing like her response to being like, oh, you guys are simping for billionaires, and of course athletes make too much. And it's like,
Yeah,
I don't know, your fucking brother made decent chunk of change in the NBA. And
Is Al Horford still playing? Is he still on the Celtics though?
I believe so.
Oh.
I believe so.
For some reason I thought maybe he wasn't, or he retired.
He left the Celtics a couple of years ago. He went to the 76ers, and then he went to the Thunder, and now he's back on the Celtics. So, but yeah, that's interesting to see where that goes. I mean, her whole family kind of like joined in, and what was it? Her brother had a tweet that said, what was it? How do you look at a baby and name it Kirk? Which I now I realize I probably shouldn't comment on this.
Why? Why, you don't think Kirk's a good name?
No, I just don't think, I don't like talking about anything to do with that group of people.
Oh, fair.
Because
Yeah.
people say things about me that aren't true and are very hurtful.
Yep.
But no, it was very funny. The response that Casey Smith said was like, round one goes to Horford. Goes to the Horfords. And then Kirk retweeted that and said, new enemy. So, and then, Minifans had some fun. I don't know if Casey Smith is entirely in on the joke. I don't get her sometimes. Like,
Yeah, I think she is, though, but maybe not to the fullest extent where she understands, like, everything about the show or tunes in religiously or whatever. Like, I think she's just willing to get down and dirty with the Minifans in the comments, I guess. So, for that, props to her, I guess. But yeah, I think she seemingly kind of gets it a little bit. Maybe she was one of those people that initially wouldn't have, but I think at this point, at this stage, yeah, she's from Boston or whatever too. So I mean, it all kind of fit in with the Horford stuff for her to kind of reply. So yeah, it was just a talking point in a slow week.
The other big news story that's dominating the Twitterverse and everyone's talking about is the whole Kirk debate. It's all over the place. So for those of you that might not have seen, I'm sure everyone has seen, on Twitter, Kirk has been going to Starbucks every day as he travels the country. And day one, he said, welcome to the South. And they spelled his name C-U-R-K, which Kirk, it's not an incorrect way of spelling Kirk.
I don't think if I heard Kirk, though, that would be the first way I think. I mean, obviously, like with the show and everything, but like even if I didn't work here or didn't know Kirk or anything, like I think I would go with Kirk.
Kirk's not like a insane name. Like it's not a popular name, but it's definitely not like one you've never heard of before.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like if someone said like, oh, my name's Kirk, like obviously I think of Kirk Minahan, but I'm not also like, oh, that's like, oh, you're like one of 5 people I know who have that name. So the second day it was K-U-R-K. And then yesterday on Thursday,
by far the worst.
Crick, K-R-I-K, which I don't know if they just didn't type it in correctly, but thankfully today we got Kirky, we got K-R-I-R-K. He's back, baby. So I saw a couple people saying like, oh, it's a bit. He's doing this on purpose. Like unless he's going up, like the first 2 days is C-U-R-K and K-U-R-K. Unless he's going up to them and saying like, what's your name? And he's saying C-U-R-K, which Starbucks, I don't really think they just want a name real quick. Kirk.
Yeah.
I'm sure he said Kirk and they just blah, blah, blah. This is the first thing that comes to mind. And then Crick, I don't like,
if there was to be one, I guess that was a bit, maybe that one.
Also, but no, if you also say, if ask me like what my name is.
What's your name?
Crick. How do you spell that? There's no way.
C-R-I-C-K.
There's no way you would spell it K-R-I-K.
Yeah. Unless like maybe the person serving was like the barista was a Minifan maybe and was like silently in on it.
By silently in on it, do you mean maybe they were like special needs and that's the only way you could not under but anyway. So I decided to go out on Tuesday and make a little content, go around to Starbucks in the area.
Right.
And truthfully, I thought every single time it was going to be Kirk. I ended up going to 4 Starbucks in total. The first one, they spelled it right, Kirk, and I was like, oh, well, fuck yeah.
Bang.
Second one, third one, nope. And then the fourth one, they didn't even need a name, but they called me Kurt. So it was like
that was funny, yeah.
So I definitely think it's just like Starbucks, just really the people there are kind of like ditzy young girls, and they just are like, oh yeah, blah, blah. They don't really know anyone named Kirk, so they hear it and they're like, oh, Kurt. One person did ask me though, is that with a C or a K? And I was like, oh, she definitely thought I said Kurt.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I put out that video on Tuesday. It was all right. Nothing fantastic.
So with the one where they didn't ask you, I saw someone say this, but like, were you thinking of maybe just leaving instantly when they were like, yeah, we don't need a name? Like, would you have just head out instead of just saying anything?
No.
That could have been kind of funny,
could have been funny. But
the other thing, I know you tasted some of them. I don't like Starbucks hot chocolate like at all.
I don't either.
It has a weird aftertaste to me.
I don't either. I got every single time I got Kirk's, which is non-fat milk and no foam.
Yeah.
I don't really drink any sort of like Starbucks hot chocolate,
right,
or coffee, even from like Dunkin' or anywhere, or even make my own for example.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wasn't a huge fan. Also, like I'm also the kind of guy where I'm like, if I'm making hot chocolate, you got to put whole milk in that baby.
I need some whipped cream.
Yeah,
on
whipped
there.
cream that up.
Yeah.
Make it like as. And I understand like Kirk's a healthier man than I, but yeah, it just didn't taste great to me. But let's see what else went on in the week there. Tuesday night, I thought it would be fun for us to have a little bros night.
Hell yeah.
Go out. Video hasn't been released yet, but we ended up seeing Madam Web in Dedham. Maybe I'll release that tonight. I just didn't think it was.
It was nothing special. I mean, we just kind of saw the movie, and
my question for you is: so beforehand, we went to Hooters.
Yes, first time. I've never been.
First time we went to the Hooters in Dedham. After all that hubbub about me seeing. Was it Bull Durham?
Yes.
At a Hooters.
Why?
And then Hooters said Coleman said he's never been to Hooters, which is like fucking crazy.
I don't know. It just like there wasn't. I'm sure there were some by me back home in Jersey, but like in terms of immediate location, like Buffalo Wild Wings was always the premier spot, like close to me and everything. I really only heard about Hooters from like people talking about it, or I even mentioned like Big Daddy. Like I always think of the Big Daddy girl, like how she worked at Hooters or whatever.
Yep.
So yeah, I had never been, but overall,
the best Hooters I ever been to was actually New Jersey.
Really?
Where about? Atlantic City.
Okay.
It was great. I went to a music festival there in like 2018 or 19.
Yeah, AC's a weird spot now.
But anyway, my question to you is: so the showing was originally at 6. We were going to meet there at 5.
Right.
What time did you show up?
Oh, I was running way behind. I probably got there like 5:40.
Yeah, around that time.
Yeah, it was tough. I miscalculated the route there or whatever.
You don't have to lie and say it was traffic, Coleman.
It was though. I did. It doubled whatever. Like midday when I checked the location, it said like 20 minutes, and then when I went and checked as I was leaving, it was like 40.
That still would have put you there at 5:20.
Well, I also said I was running a little behind.
You can say you left your house at 5 o'clock. It's okay.
I don't think 5 o'clock. Maybe like 4:49. Like 4:50 maybe.
Yeah.
So I was running a little behind, but
it's okay. But I was just
sorry about that.
It just hurt me. And
we had a great time.
Part of it too. I thought that since it was a Sydney Sweeney movie, you always want to look your best. I wore a full suit. I wore a full suit with a fedora. I looked like a complete fucking asshole. So there I go. I walk into a Hooters. This is why I'm upset with you being late. I walk into a Hooters by myself in a full suit and fedora, okay, on a fucking Tuesday, and it's like it's 5 o'clock, and I'm like, oh no, my friend will be here in 40 minutes.
Is the friend in the room with us now,
exactly.
Justin?
Oh yes. Oh, pardon me, lady with the titties. I'm my colleague of mine will be joining me in 40 minutes. So I'm sitting there looking like a fucking asshole in a fucking dress fucking shoes all the way up to a fucking fedora, looking like an absolute ass clown
It was
inside of
funny. It was really funny. I mean, I had no idea you were doing that either. And so walking in and just seeing you at one of the high tops, just full suit,
just by myself,
head
just
in your hands,
chugging my
man.
third water. The waitress is like, "Do you want to put any food in?" I was like, "No, my friend is coming. My friend is coming soon. I promise you, milady."
It's worse than anything I've seen in movies where like the guy gets stood up, or guy or girl for that matter gets stood up on a date and they're like, "No, we'll do another round of whatever." Like,
Yeah, because at least they're not at a Hooters in a fucking like fucking suit in a fucking fedora saying, "Oh yes, I'm seeing Madame Webb later. Perhaps would the attractive waitress like to join me? Perhaps if my friend does not come." But anyway, so thoughts on I love Hooters. I think their wings are fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it was great. It's everything you could possibly want. You know, you got boobs, you got wings, you got sports on the TV. It's ideal. I thought the wings were great. I think I'm still partial to Buffalo Wild Wings overall, though.
Yeah, but you got the boneless wings too, which is
I'm a
kind
boneless
of
guy.
a knockoff.
I'm a
Like,
boneless guy though. Like when it comes to I don't know, like wings you prep at like a barbecue or at home or something. Like I actually prefer like bone-in wings, but when I go to a place, I kind of prefer more of like the boneless nugget.
Those Hooters
type.
breaded wings are just so fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still great though. Still the sauce was awesome.
Yeah, but anyway, so then we saw Madame Webb, and that was an interesting. Well, I'll put the video up of our review after that. It was just not a great movie.
No, but not necessarily a bad movie experience. Like I enjoyed my time there, while the movie was still pretty much awful.
So we ended up seeing the 7:00 one, and in it we. At the start, I was like, "Fuck, we fucked up," because the theater was actually kind of packed.
Yeah.
And I was like, "What the fuck?" And there were like kids like talking and laughing, and I was like, "Oh, we fucked up. Like we should not have seen this." And I was like, "Why is it so busy on a fucking Tuesday?" Because it was school vacation week.
Yep.
So all these children going to go see their Queen Sydney in the in that. So
They kind of talked a lot during that movie too. Like the little pockets of different like kids. Like
yeah,
there was a lot of chatter in that
Shut
movie.
the fuck up.
Yep.
Shut the fuck up. Trying to see Sydney. But she would appreciate me telling everyone to shut the fuck up in the movie. But,
Definitely. I don't think this made the review, but there was definitely some moments where you gave a couple fist pumps in the theater.
Woo! Let's go. Oh yeah, when she's giving CPR. I was like, oh, fuck yeah. I was like, here we go. And then really yesterday, that Andy Mayo video is surfaced of him doing stand-up comedy. So I think yesterday morning it would be fun, put out a little content, doing like a parody of Why Are You Laughing? Which I'll be honest with you, that was the worst piece of content I've ever created. People seem to enjoy it, but I was very, very, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of just showed up and you had some of the clips ready to go. So we're like, all right, let's just rip it.
It's tough to new appreciation for what Mike does on Why You Laughing. I did call him beforehand and get his blessing.
There you go.
To do that, and I did see some people say like, oh, why would you, not wait for Kirk to react to this? And that did cross my mind. I asked him, I was like, hey, like beforehand, before we did the Unnamed show, which we'll get to, I was like, hey, thoughts on like me doing like a stupid like Why Are You Laughing? He's like, or do you want to wait to react to it on Mondays or whenever next week? And he's like, why not both? So
yeah, I think it'll be two different reactions.
Definitely. Kirk will be able to tear that apart
exactly,
like way better than like anything we did.
I also think it would have been different if it was just maybe something like this, like a producer show where we were talking about it and playing clips. Like it was more so of a skit based.
It was a bit.
Yes,
bit.
Exactly.
I like that word.
Exactly.
Anyway, so we did that yesterday after the Unnamed show. Unnamed show yesterday went off.
Yep.
Kind of a clusterfuck to start off. The team has decided to scrap the opening. They just want to go. It was kind of a clusterfuck to start off with it. Kirk didn't sound the best during it.
Yeah, I was just texting the guy Mitch from Bussin' or whatever, like, need to raise his mic. Then once it got a bit raised, it was like, all right, now it's sounding a little overmodulated. Like, you need to fix that. Some of that, I think, is just Zoom, though, because when you have, and that's with this show kind of a problem, like, all three of them want to be able to talk and comment on things. So, like, if you're getting drowned out by someone else, then you're going to be cutting in and out. and kind of sounding like that a bit too. So that's when I was like, you know what? And we should probably be doing this for all 3 of them going forward, but I want the local audio files. So about, I don't know, when Smitty came on, I was like, yeah, Mitch, just make sure you're recording on your end. And so after the fact, when I was putting out the actual podcast, I was splicing in where I could the clean audio of Kirk to just make it sound a bit better than what the YouTube maybe would sound like.
Or Rumble.
But yeah, no. And then there was a thing with the topics on the show. There was that Portnoy topic about Buzz and like the SEC complaint that was filed. And Kirk said it was like at the bottom of the topic sheet or whatever, which it was on.
Oh, hello. Jesus Christ.
Oh, we have a visitor?
How's it going? Yep, that's me.
Oh, you have a gift? Oh. Alrighty then. Justin's got a gift. We have the mail guy here. Checking out some different mail. Justin is very close to those envelopes. His eyes are right. His eyes might get a paper cut.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, all right. Bye, friend. Okay. So that was today's guest.
That was scary.
Mailman Joe, I guess.
Yeah, we'll call him a Joe.
All right.
Might be a Joe. Let's see.
Live unboxing?
This is to Justin. This is to me.
Okay.
Oh, you know what this is?
More Friday plans.
Friends.
Yeah.
Oh, this is funny. Here we go, Coleman. We're going to party tonight, baby.
What we got?
Friends.
Wait, they just keep sending them?
Yeah, I tried to cancel it, but
No way.
apparently that didn't happen. So great.
Have you tried any yet?
No, I don't want to because they say something about like eye disease and
I feel like if you try one, you'll be okay.
yeah, that's what they say about drugs. You can't get hooked on the first one. The first one never gets you.
You're gonna get hooked on boner pills?
I don't know, but if my fucking heart gives out, there we go. Look at that. Damn. Maybe I'll. What do I just pop on?
So
Like, I do
discreet.
get boners though, so it's like I don't know. Like maybe I'll
You
have
want
like
more boners though? Is the
maybe I have
question.
like a super boner. I don't know, but friends. Okay, what were we talking about? Oh, the unnamed show.
Unnamed show topic. So yeah, Kirk said that on the topic sheet, that topic of the SEC complaint with Portnoy was at the bottom. It was on the sheet that he had. I typically also send him like a text the night before with all the topics, and on there I did have it a bit higher up after I believe the Smitty and Jerry stuff because I figured those would be potential guests that would be on. So I had it there. I just forgot to update it on the actual sheet itself that we print. So that's on me. That was a tough look, but the right intention was there when I sent it. But we'll be better. We'll do better. Now it sounds like Dave is also going to want to keep track of topics. I talked with Austin a little bit. He said that we're just going to send the topic sheet over to him as well. So if there's on Wednesday night, so that if there's anything that he wants to add in, we can add that in as well. If Kirk wants to add anything, we add it in as well. And we'll keep rolling. It's a major production. There's a lot of moving parts to it, but people seem to like it. People seem to think it's been a solid show so far. So I'm excited to keep it rolling. It's been a nice, fun little add to the week. Something I really didn't expect to be a part of, but really happy that Kirk was able to loop us in on that.
Perfect. Last thing, Twitter's kind of going a little crazy about the Jen Royal story.
Right.
So I do remember when I was going through Anna Horford's tweets on Monday, I do remember her saying something about Table Boston. So there was a couple tweets in there that was funny, just about her. So I tweeted that out from the show account. But other than that, is there anything else we really missed?
No, not really. I mean, we're just revving up for Portland.
Yeah, just putting our heads down.
Yep.
Just
grinding a bit, and it's coming up soon. It's coming up fast. If you haven't got your tickets yet, I believe you still can. So yeah, it's going to be a really fun night. Hoping for just a great show. I'm getting excited for it. Like I really just want us to be able to pull off a great show for Kirk. So
yeah, no,
it's going to be fun.
The Minifans are the best fans in the world.
Yeah.
So anyway, anything else to say? What was I going to ask you? I had one last thing to ask you. If there was one story from this week that you wouldn't bring up on KMS.
Oh, let me look through my list real quick.
That you would not bring up on KMS,
Yep.
but you would be interested in.
Right.
What would it be? It's a little behind the scenes into our brains here.
Let me see. Oh,
I have mine. It's very stupid.
okay. I guess this might. Well, give me yours first, and then I'll let you know.
The original Star Wars Battlefronts 1 and 2 are being re-released.
I saw that.
And it warmed my heart. Those were games of my childhood. I remember going over to my friend Colin Peterson's house, and we would play Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2 on his original Xbox, and it was a lot of fun.
So Battlefront 2 actually was like the first like T-rated game I got, and it was given to me by none other than Grandma Sue, actually.
Wow.
Back when I was little, she got me Battlefront 2. It was either Christmas or my birthday or something, but yeah, fond memories of that one. Awesome. Since you went that route, now I'm trying to think. I guess I wouldn't bring this up on the show, but this was pretty wild. I guess they call it technically like Black Twitter, I guess. Like it's
God.
one of those things.
What are we doing?
No. It's nothing crazy. But there's like a rapper, or I don't know if he's technically a rapper. He's more like a R&B guy, like Omar Lay, I think is his name. And so he brought this chick up on stage at his concert, and they had like a sheet come down, so it could only show their shadow or silhouette. And basically the shadows just start looking like they're like having sex, just going at it. And so the camera pans in this video, and you see her boyfriend in the crowd just watching this. And then videos came out after the fact. Like, the whole place is going nuts. Like, this girl is all over him. Like, if you see, look up, like, Omar Lay, maybe, and you might be able to see it. The crowd's just going crazy and everything. This poor guy is just head in his hands, just kind of smiling through the pain. And then a video came out after the fact, too, of like them on the street and the boyfriend just like walking away in silence. Just like tough scenes to I don't know what you really do in that situation. Like, your girl gets pulled up on stage with like a famous artist or anything, like, and
just gotta let her fuck
out.
him, I guess.
I guess, I mean, they weren't really having sex, but like it was like pretty graphic. Like, she's like bent over, grinding up against him, all that. Like, it was nuts. So that was a big story I saw yesterday that a lot of people just kept commenting on, but wild. I feel for the guy. Stay strong, King.
Okay. Well, I think that'll do it for this iteration of the Producer Show. Excited to have Kirk back next week and just get rolling with the show. So
yeah, back to it.
Perfect. Awesome. We will talk to you then with Kirk. Thank you to Kirk for allowing us to do this, and we will talk to you soon.
See you guys.